Well, this is an amazing and unique opportunity because the funds from the Just Transition Fund are directly aimed at specific regions, which is one of the first times that this has happened. So it provides an opportunity for very targeted support, and it's also aimed to alleviate the impacts of the transition. So a lot of these regions, and I know from the descriptions that I've read also here in Romania, these regions have been undergoing a process for more than 30 years sometimes, so because it usually started in the 1990s. And there have been some attempts to support these regions, but they haven't been very systematic, they haven't been very targeted. And here you have the opportunity to develop the local economy, support people who are losing their jobs, and to think about what kind of future you want for a region that hasn't been thinking much about the future for the last decades.
How do you see the future of regions in transition in a European context?
Well, looking at the megatrends, we know the directions in which we're going. These are directions of a green economy, of a sustainable economy. And this means that it's an economy within which energy is produced differently, people work differently, and in which we treat the world differently. So one of the important things is to think about, the world, the nature that is around us. So I see the future as better quality life, healthier life, because a lot of the issues that we're dealing with right now, for example, cancer, health-related issues linked with smog or water pollution, these are things that we need to tackle now, because this is increasingly impacting us, but especially young people, children, who are, more and more frequently have various illnesses that are related to the pollution that is around us, and to older people, because they're also very frequently, feeling the impacts of the bad quality of the natural environment. So this is my dream of the future world, a world in which we live connecting all of the needs that we have.
What should the regions focus on their development?
I think that aside from the things that are already within these projects, which is economic diversification and supporting people who are leaving the industry, it's also about looking at which parts of society need more help, that they have needed help for a longer period of time, and tackling these issues, and also looking at where there has been the largest environmental damage, and trying to think about how to change this situation. And another important, I think, aspect is the circular economy, but this is something that needs to be solved on the European level, and not just on the level of what we do with our waste, but of producing less waste. So starting from the production, going through the whole cycle, and so that we have less waste that we have to recycle. Also talking about reuse and repair, something that has disappeared over the last 20-30 years. I mean, I know Romania is probably very similar like in Poland, so we used to have like all these repair shops and things like that, and they've disappeared. We need to bring them back. And also we need to make sure that it's not about consumption, because this is a problem. We shouldn't have, for example, refrigerators that stop working after 5 years, because if you have an old refrigerator, it can function for 30 years. And that's the way it should function. So I think this is another important thing that we need to solve on a European scale and globally.
Do you believe that citizens and local communities should have a greater role in determining the investment priorities of the EU cohesion policy? If yes, how could they be effectively involved?
I think they should definitely have more of an impact, and I'm glad to see that in Jiu Valley the impact is very huge, because you can see from the amount of ideas and projects that are coming out of civil society organizations that they are trying to impact the process. But when you are talking about analyzing what's happening in such a region, you will not get those analyses in Bucharest or in, in some big city far away. You will get them here because the people here know what the problems are, probably where they come from and what they're caused by, and they have ideas for their solutions. But they need to be given a forum where they can speak these ideas in a form that's okay for them, because you cannot expect everyone to understand, high-level technical jargon or administrative jargon. But they need a space where they can say their project ideas or, say what problems there are, and then get help in implementing the solutions.